Hello, my precious soul tribe, and welcome back to Volume 2, where you're going to remember Hiragana and Katakana with me. This is Part 3, and in this video, we're going to review what we've learned so far, how to write the A and the E sounds with all the different consonants, and then we're going to be learning a new sound today, the U sound. But keep in mind, Japanese don't have the Latin letters like we do. They just deal in sounds. And remember, all the basic 46 sounds, which they call Goju-on, 50 sounds, they all contain one of the 5 vowel sounds. A, I, U, E, O. So with that in mind, buckle up and here we go. The first sound column we're going to review is, if you remember, A. Then we have Ka, and we're going to put Ka. Then we're going to have Sa in Hiragana and Sa in Katakana. Then we have Ta in Hiragana, and then Ta in Katakana, and then we have Na in Hiragana, Na in Katakana, and then comes Ha, and in Katakana it's Ha. Okay, we're still under the A column, so I'll write A up here. And the next one on the list is Ma and Ma for Katakana. And that's actually the Ma that's used to write my name, Maku. Or it would look like this, Ma-ku. Okay, next up we have Ya. Okay, and Hiragana, and that's Katakana, almost the same. Just remember, Hiragana is always curvy and Katakana is like anglish, or you're going at angles instead of smooth curviness. The next one is Ra, and for Katakana, like that. Okay, we're still in the A column, and we have one more to go. So I'll write that back. So the last one, if you'll remember, is Wa. I'll write that again so you can see it. 1, 2, in Katakana. It looks like that. Okay, so those are the A. The next column we learned in Part 2 was E. So we have Ki in Hiragana and Ki in Katakana. And then we have, and there is no C if you remember. So C turns into She, which is your fish hook. And then She in Katakana. And then, remember, we don't have a T in Japanese, so it changes to chi. Chi is written like this. And hiragana, and like this, and katakana. No, those were kind of bad. Let me do. And then, and katakana. Next, we learned ni in hiragana, and remember in katakana it's also the number 2 in kanji, which you'll learn here soon. And then we have hi, and then hi in katakana, and then we have mi and hiragana, and mi and katakana. And then we have, there is no such thing as yi, if you remember. That's just blank. There is no equivalent for yi. There is no sound in Japanese of yi. So we move on to ri. Like that. They're the same in both hiragana and katakana. And then finally, there's no wi, wi. There is no such thing as that sound in Japan. So we have reviewed everything up until now. So we are going to learn the next sound in the list, and it is u. U is written like this in hiragana and like this in katakana. I'll write it for you one more time. And the first consonant, of course, is K. So we're going to have ku. It's very simple. So it's just one stroke. 1, 2. Or really one. Just one. 1. Then the equivalent in katakana is like that. And from now on, for the letter u, we're just going to write it the way they read it in hiragana. After ku comes su. Su is pretty easy too. It's just a line across like that. Like that. I'll write it one more time. Su. And in katakana, that's su. Su. Okay, the next thing in line is tsu. It's like a sideways or upside down fishing hook. Like that. Now, this next one's going to look very familiar, and I'm going to show you the difference between this. It's almost like she. If you remember, she was written like this. So it's written with these, the eyes of the smiley face are slanted, like in this direction. And then you start from here and go up in that direction. Tsu is the same, however, instead of diagonal eyes of the smiley face, they're going to be pointing down. And then you start the smiley face starting from north, going to south like that. So I'll write it like this. Like that. I'll increase my brush just so you can see how it's written with a brush like we used to in the old days. So we'll start with she and su. They look almost the same, don't they? Now let me make the brush even bigger and see if you can see the difference with the brush strokes. Okay, we'll start with she. You can tell the end of the brush stroke is up here on the top. And with su, and these are at an angle. And su is like that. I'll write it one more time for you. And that's she. And this is su. So that's how you can tell the difference. Up and down is su, and diagonal is she. And the brush strokes are the opposite direction. Okay, so the next one in line is going to be nu. Okay. Yeah, we haven't learned the S sound yet, but you'll see once we get there that this next one, nu, looks a lot like meh. So when we get there, I'll point that out. The first stroke of nu is like that. The next stroke starts right here, wraps around, and makes a little loop right there. Let me write it better. 1, 2. Take some practice. Yeah, let me do this. 1, 2. 1. Oh, I can't wait for a tablet. 1. Okay, that's Hiragana and Katakana. Looks like this. It's like a number 7 with a line through it. Okay, the next in line is fu. Now in Hiragana, these are 4 strokes. So you start off with a little one like that, like a check mark, and then follow it like that, and then like that, and like that. So I'll write it again. Okay, that's fu in Hiragana, and in Katakana, it's just like that. Okay, the next sound we're going to learn is mu. Mu. Yeah, that's the sound, mu. And mu is, in Hiragana, is 1 line across, calm down, boom. I'll do it again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's Hiragana. in katakana, it's going to look like this. Okay. It's very similar to ma. Remember ma. Ma is written like that. And mu is written like that. Very similar. Okay. The next one is going to be U. U is pretty neat. It's 2 strokes. It starts off like this. Like that. Can't wait for my new tablet. These will be a lot easier to write. So that's Hiragana. In Katakana, U looks kind of like maybe a capital 1. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Next we have Ru. Ru. And it's going to look like this. 1, 2. 1, 2. You can also be 1 stroke too, because your brush or your pen never leaves the paper. Okay, that's Ru. Katakana looks like this. 1, 2. 1, 2. Very similar to ha, if you remember. Ha. Ha is that in katakana. And Ru, it's the same first stroke. It's that instead. Very similar. It's kind of like ha, but this first one goes more down and then up. Like that. Okay. Lastly, we would have wu, but there is no such thing as wu. So we're going to write it again. And we're going to review it on the next, on part 4 as well. And probably on part 5 too. So, we're going to put our U up here. Then we have ku, su, su, nu. And one thing I forgot to mention is the H. Like the H changes to F. On the U sound. And that is written like, write it again. And like this, Katakana. Okay, the next one we have is mu. Okay, and Hiragana, and mu, and Katakana. Then we have fu, and And katakana is really simple. It's just whoop, whoop, like that. Okay, the next is going to be U, which is like that for hiragana. And in katakana, it is like this. Okay, and then last but not least, ru. And that's in katakana there. I'll write it one more time. So there you have it. Those are, now you know how to pronounce and write the oo sounds. So with that, we're going to end this part 3. Part 4, we're going to start with reviewing a, I, u, and then we're going to learn the S sounds. So thanks for tuning in and remembering with me, and always remember, I love you.